set budget for technology or building needs and things like that. So thank you for being here and being part of the PTC, and whether you hold a leadership position or you're just attending, that is important. And I want to take a second if anybody here attending has any input or attending. And I want to take a second if anybody here attending has any input or attending online has any input. Criticism is fine too, about how to maybe improve that. We tried something different this year because last year was historically bad as well, and it wasn't great in regards to the building fundraiser. So just kind of curious if any input for that.
The biggest thing I saw online on that Facebook group is that it seems like the schools across the board, not just Woodside, they all sell the same thing. So if you have kids in multiple schools, you've already purchased most of whatever it is.
And I thought we tried something different this year to avoid that. But maybe it's just still.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing I saw.
Okay. Anything else?
Is there someone other than Covington that does that same sale?
There was a whole slew of parents that were just.
I bought cookies dough from Lafayette Meadows.
Lafayette
Meadows, but they sell like, I mean, there's like you can buy all sorts of stuff, like.
I thought ours was too.
Yeah, online. Yeah, okay. So I know Lafayette Meadows does.
Mm-hmm.
I know with Spring Meadows, I think they do.
I think this year, one of these confusing parts was the schedule didn't necessarily line up because we had that break in between, and I think that threw some people off.
Yeah, full transparency, we thought that actually could be a better thing.
Yeah.
Give the kids more time. But I know most people in our district have vacation plans, right? Not everyone, but a lot of people do. So I think that affects it. And that was probably a mistake in hindsight.
Well, and also like with when to turn things in. I think that was one of the parts.
Yeah, I think naturally you see less participation at the older ages as the kids aren't as excited about the stuff. Like my kindergarten was going door to door. And like I think the middle school the age tends to lucrative. You know what I mean? So there's things that were battling there, but that's also good input. I think full transparency, we thought it would be better, and I think it was.
There was some suggestions in this group of Matt Anthony's detergents, car wash tickets, Rise and Roll Bakery, instead of the store that we use.
Anthony's Rise and Roll
car wash tickets.
What's the Rise and Roll?
Donuts.
No, I know donuts, but like, do you?
Yeah, so
Like
Fort Wayne
salad
Community School does Rise and Roll, and those always sold really well. You sell a dozen. There's like one or two kind of donuts you can get. It's the powdered cinnamon. I think they're called crack.
Yeah, the Amish crack.
Yeah, and then the glazed, and you buy them like a dozen at a time. Yeah,
Deliver them to whoever ordered them.
you would come pick in Fort Wayne. You would just pull up and there's a table, you would go out and confirm your order and you would just get them there during a pickup time. But I mean, I'm sure there are better ways to do that, but.
Any other suggestions?
This is be one that like probably nobody around here does. My son does the Latin stuff, and one of the schools up north, they do Alvin's Candy Company. Like so like you could order it more like on a sheet, like, and they have so you can go around kind of door to door, or I don't know if they have it online or whatever, but then I don't know if they how they would do delivery or pick up or whatever, but they said that always Crown Point's one that's what they said that it sells really well for them, but I mean that's something different. I know that my daughter's dance team does the soap.
Open to all suggestions.
I think those are really big.
Are they?
Like they're gigantic. I mean
You're set for the year.
they're as tall as the seat and they're like this big around. I mean, so I'm just saying like the logistics of it doesn't
Like that many gummy bears?
Oh, I mean like they're huge and really heavy. I'm just saying, so the logistics of like that I'm just I'm just saying like that they take up a lot of space and just the kids actually trying to get them from here home might be something to consider. They're definitely not taking them on their bike.
Another thing kind of along the same lines before I get into celebrations. We go, last 2 years I've been here, we've talked a lot about parent-teacher conferences and, the different styles of doing that. Now, I will tell you, if you came, you saw me, because I'm sneakily taking a head count. We had tons of people. I also had teachers do sign-ins, and some people saw upwards of 50 parents, kind of depending on where they're at. When you compare that to what Summit does, with the sign-ups, it's more than double, like the highest numbers. And I guess that's what we want. We want people coming. So an attendance portion is working with the open house format. But I wanted to share that as a celebration. We saw a huge turnout for parent-teacher conferences, which is a good sign that, number one, we communicated it effectively. Number two, the most important people in children's education are their parents as their first teachers. And so getting them collaborating and working with the teachers is what we aim for and what we want. So I'm glad that attendance was very high. So that's a celebration, but just opening it up for comments, feedback about that formatting or just the night in general.
I thought it was fantastic. Being a new parent for middle school, I mean, I came Thursday night at the beginning and out. It was great.
Yeah, I think just sharing, I think the open house and looking at different ways to do it is the best way for parents. It's the best way for parents, but especially for people who have multiple kids, it becomes really hard to coordinate sign-up schedules, to get to see your kids' teachers that you want to if you have multiple kids. I don't know, other comments or criticisms, open to it.
Can we go back to the fundraising?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Of course, no, it's okay.
Double Good Popcorn is another fundraiser I've done.
Double Good?
It's called Double Good,
Okay.
yeah. It's a popcorn fundraiser, and you order it online, and it ships right to your house. But I feel like that would be like a good option because around this time of the year,
Yeah.
people like their.
We have one suggestion online.
Yeah.
I guess I can share it now. I guess, do an art exhibition, working it with Mrs. Rubin
Is that for parent-teacher night or
for fundraising.
Like kids sell their own art for fundraiser for us? Or
Yeah,
sell
yeah.
it us?
Yep, and then you can charge an entry fee maybe too, and the finger foods. I don't know.
Like, is it the kids' art or is it local artists?
I don't know, I would assume you'd want your kids' art, have
Okay.
fun, have fun with it, It could be either or.
thank you.
Really good.
There's Arlette Cantu.
What?
Arlette Cantu.
Oh, yeah. She's usually here
It's
in
our
person.
person too. Is the person.
She said kids' art.
Yeah.
What I heard was Arlette.
Yeah, she can do it all.
I got it. Thank
Maybe
you,
Arlette has.
Thank you, Arlette. Thank you, Arlette. All right, anything else for parent-teacher conference?
I went Friday morning, probably poor planning on my part. I didn't probably leave enough time because, the teacher should spend like 5 minutes with the family, and found that with the 8th grade parents, it was like 15 minutes at least, like for some of the families, and they were literally going over like individual assignments, printing assignments, going over them, talking through essays, and like, so they were long. I think we waited for 40 minutes trying to get into one of 3 teachers' rooms and couldn't get into a single one.
I guess for me, I would take that, and you and I talked that day too. I think I would need to continue to encourage my teachers that it's okay to set a timer and set boundaries to enable them to be able to see everyone. Because really it is supposed to be more just a face-to-face check-in. I would encourage them, if anything that goes beyond 5 minutes, to set up a phone call or an appointment to go to those things. Yeah, that's good feedback. Thank you.
I think it would just be more, I've never been there to experience it, so better planning next year.
Yeah, sure. How would you know? Right? Okay, celebrations. Obviously, our people a regional champs for the 4th straight year. Mr. Happ is looking for volunteers for judges in his classroom. I did it this morning for an hour. It was a lot of fun. I do know that some of you even sitting at this table have got some people. I'm going to send out a parent square with the write up from Mr. Happ, just saying if you know somebody or you'd like to do it, it is a lot of fun. We're going to have the link right there if you're not a usual volunteer, do the background check and come and see those kids put on quite the show. I was able to sit with 4 different groups and ask them questions and give them critiques. They are very, very motivated to win state. So congratulations to them and those kids. We had a great field trip. The JA Job Spark field trip, which is over at the Memorial Coliseum, is essentially the expo. It's just the giant expo of different jobs. So all the 8th graders, and we plan to do this in the years to come, go and get the opportunity to be exposed to different fields of careers. And yeah, it was great. Kids were well behaved. We had a great trip. We had a lot of volunteers, so thank you for our parents and volunteers as well. But huge success, I would say. The kids come back, and I had the pleasure of being on lunch duty when the 8th graders came back from lunch. That was a lot of fun. And they were obviously very excited for talking to me about the stuff they got to see and do. So that was fun. Winter sports have started. Basketball's underway. We just had games last night. Wrestling and swimming. Mr. Beaumont will be communicating those. I think wrestling's already in conditioning. So questions about those 2 sports can be communicated with Mr. Beaumont. I had the opportunity to walk through after I finished my run in the workout room. I walked through last night as they were doing the dress rehearsal. I'm very excited to come on Thursday and bring my son for that. So just continuing to promote the musical on Thursday and Friday of this week. Semi-formal dance is, we're getting the communication out. Talking about that a little bit. We'll get the flyers out, but that's Friday, December 6th from 6:30 to 8:30. It'll be $10. We'll send $10 cash to be brought in. We'll be selling those tickets the week of before school. And then we'll have the qualifications, or I guess disqualifications, communicated to parents. But there are basically no out-of-school suspensions, no truant days, 6 or less tardies. We try to use these things as an incentive for kids to make good choices. There are kids who, were disappointed last year that they got turned away, and hopefully this year they're keeping better track of their tardies and their grades. But yeah, they can't be failing 3 or more classes by the day of the dance as well. We saw a lot of kids turning stuff in and showing the most effort they had all year because they got that dress and they really wanted to go to that dance. So that's kind of, we use it as a carrot for the kids. But yeah, again, communication is going to be coming out. We just got their approved flyers through the PTC members organizing that, and we'll get that going. We will need a lot of volunteers. The one thing about this, we might make an adjustment, but it's also the same night as the Woodside staff Christmas party or holiday party, and so we'll have parent volunteers. And so any much we can put that out, communicate that. I'll be there. I'm sure we'll have all 3 administrators there. I did secure an SRO, so we're good there. So we're good there. Our normal school resource officer will be there, so that's good because I know the kids. So we'll have plenty of security, but it was a well-attended event last year, to say the least. So it should be a lot of fun for the kids on Friday, December 6th from 6:30 to 8:30. We're going to do a Spirit Week the week after for the kids. The ever popular pajama day on Monday. They've been asking me all year. Just a lot of kids who wear pajama pants, they get very excited. Tuesdays, holiday headwear. Wednesdays, holiday movie character day. Thursdays, red, green, or white day, or all 3. And then Fridays, in coordination with our staff, pitch in the ugly sweater day. We'll communicate all that out. We'll have flyers. The kids, we're posting them next week already for the kids. We'll have stuff on Parent Square about that, so that's upcoming. One thing I was going to ask about that I can talk maybe with the board about, but last year we had the staff pancake breakfast, and I grossly underestimated the help that I needed to do that. And I know for some parents dropping stuff off and like, you need help, don't you? I'm like, yes, please. And so we'll probably want to do that. I know we're going to want to do that on Thursday, December 19th. And so we can talk more in small group maybe about what we need for that. There's griddles, volunteers. I think last year people donated food items. Is that right, Brian? Does that sound right? I think people donated last year.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then
pancake mix and bacon, pretty much, and then orange juice, things like that. But it was a lot of fun. The staff appreciated being able to get together and stuff like that. It's fun for us as a leadership to be able to serve them as well. We had a good time. I just covered the bacon for the whole day because I'm doing it in the ovens this time. instead of like on the stove top. And that should be easier. Less than fun.
Do you know about how many griddles you needed just to?
3 or 4.
3 or 4?
Yeah, I think last year the people dropping off the griddles ended up staying and helping. That just helped free us up so we can serve. Yeah, 3 or 4 griddles just to do pancakes would be good.
You could also do, if like a big issue, you could do sausage and hot pot.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. What do you prefer to do?
I don't care.
It's, yeah, and
And
it's
Jesus, I'm
it's a lot,
good.
it's way easier.
Yeah.
Because I've done pancake breakfast before.
Yeah.
But a pretty good bacon. Warm it up. I think if you buy it pre-cooked and then put it back in, put it in the oven for a little bit, you don't have to cook it as long, and it's not as, a lot of grease cooked out already.
Good suggestions. Live you learn. But, we can talk more about that. The date for that was Thursday, December 19th, which is kind of exciting.
What time frame? What?
It'll be early. I'll probably be there like 4:45.
Oh,
It'll-
4:45?
Well, no. The volunteers could probably be here. If the volunteers could be here 6:15, 6:30, because the teachers are for sure here. I will probably advertise to them. We'll start serving at 6:45.
Why do you get here so early?
That day,
Yeah.
I'll make it bacon.
So you might want a few of us.
And I had some stuff to do.
Would you
No,
want a few
I
of
don't want
us?
anybody there that
No.
early.
And you said how many, 3 to 4 volunteers?
Probably 3 to 4 volunteers, because that's really all.
Okay. That's a school day, right?
Yeah.
Thursday, yeah, it's pretty sure that's the Thursday, the last Thursday before Christmas.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. We did it down in the ISB room, and teachers all eating together. They just enjoyed doing that. And it was, from 6:45 to 7:15, 7:20, and then they went off and got ready for the kids by 7:30. It was fun. Yeah, that's all I have. A lot more than that going on probably, but those are the highlights.
We'll make sure we get something put together then for the pancake breakfast. Can we add that to our sign up?
Yeah, this is what I just got. So
Yes.
We'll get that put
Well, I
out.
was just gonna show everybody,
Yeah.
but not like give them a copy,
Yeah,
so they
sure.
can see, but just before it's all verified.
Yeah, it's verified.
Everything's
That's
good?
the most recent one I
Yeah,
saw.
yeah,
No,
it
this is not because Trump's phone.
Oh.
There is an updated one. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it different than the one that was sent?
No. Did you get one yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one yesterday is fine. This is different. This is the one I got yesterday in the morning, and then I got a different one that I sent out in the afternoon.
Do you think this is enough time for sales, just the 1 week?
Yes,
Okay,
plenty of time.
okay.
Most of them, there's plenty of time.
And is it possible, like, we'll sell out, and that's why we should promote them getting it at school? Like, is there a maximum number of kids allowed? Like for fire code and all that?
Gym's pretty heavy. If we got down and we got more than like 500, I would probably start to talk about it with them, but I don't think.
Okay. All righty. You want me to go ahead and go?
Yeah, go on.
All right,
for the-
awesome.
yeah.
All right, my first one on the list
Actually,
was.
the gym's over 1,000. Gym's
Okay,
over
we're
1,000.
good.
We're good. Because we have every kid, I don't know what I was thinking. We have every kid in there for pepper. And there's open seats, so we're good.
Okay, Mr. Clark already addressed most everything about the dance, so I'm just gonna pass this around so that you can see it's got the flyer we're intending to use, everything's like blues, light blues, it's Winter Wonderland theme. And this is just a copy of like the expectations list, and then you can kind of see on the third page what the tickets will. So I'll give that to you and you can pass it around, yep. Any other questions about winter dance? Okay, that's on December 6th, right? Okay, and then we're gonna sell tickets the week leading up to it.
Are volunteers needed to sell tickets? Or
No, we're just,
staff do
the
it?
student council
Okay.
members. will do it.
Yeah.
Great, okay.
It
But
worked
at
out
the
good.
door, maybe.
Yeah, at the door, will be one of our volunteer stations. I think last year we put a staff member there just because they knew a lot of the kids. And they're supposed to have their ID, but obviously a lot of them don't use it that often, so they don't bring it, so we just let kids up in power school, but it's also faster and just get, if I'm sitting there, or Mrs. Lockhart's sitting there, like, I know you.
I know, right.
I know you,
Yeah.
I know you. That way we don't have to sit there and look at them. Get them moving, get
For
them
their
have fun.
grades and whatnot.
Get them in, get them have fun.
Okay, so Warrior 5K, I just want to verify, are we still for sure doing this? Even though we're definitely going forward with the golfing outing, since they're going to be about the same time frame, I just want to check.
Yes, right?
Okay, so
Clark.
that'll be
Yeah.
Tiffany,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Leanne, and Shilpa that are gonna take the ball with that. Talking to the last year's chairs, they said they generally started meeting in December
Okay.
to try to kind of come up with a game plan and talk about who they need to reach out to,
Okay.
coming up with the letter that they need to send to businesses, auction items, that type of thing.
Jen, could you
Yeah.
get Tiffany the contact information that way Tiffany can set up the meeting with everyone and maybe include Brian if you can, since he's kind of over,
Yeah.
seen it before in the past with what,
What's up?
for the
For the
Warrior 5K,
Warrior 5K.
Sure.
since it's a new committee.
Got it, yeah.
And they probably will have like questions about what, treasurer knows as far as their allowance.
Mr. Clark, do you want to
They
be in
make checks
on all
too,
of
that
those
kind of thing.
meetings?
I'll do my best, yeah.
And then invite Mr. Clark too, please.
Yeah, if you can. It just helps. As
Oh,
much as
just
we
a
can
quick
talk
comment.
together.
Yeah, go ahead, Rachel.
No, you're fine.
Just a quick comment about the email for that, just because I just went through this with teacher grants. The first time I was given the password, the login, first time I did it, it let me in, fine. The next time I went to do it, it wanted two-step verification and was going to a phone number, it only gives you the last 4 digits of the phone number. And I had to text a lot of people to try to, we eventually found out, but it was someone from several years ago that it was going to. We figured it out and I got in. But when I was talking to her, she was first logged into the 5K account. She did say, because she was like, oh, wait, I'm in the wrong one. I'm in the 5K account. You want to teacher grants. So it could all happen again. Is my point. So it was Giovanna who was,
Thank you.
who was,
Make note of that.
and so if you are having trouble getting in, maybe check with her if
And she
she's
was a
getting the verification. FYI.
Okay, good to know.
We have a date.
For the Warrior 5K, we do not, because we need to make sure to not overlap with the golf outing, so.
Last year was well before that, I think, a couple weeks.
Okay,
Golf outing
so,
will be May 30th.
okay, so we'll try to do it
Last
like
Teacher
beginning
work
of
day,
May.
the Friday.
Okay. So beginning of May, sound good?
Yeah, I think what we tried to do last year is have it late enough where it was, didn't conflict with track season for the middle school kids to do it.
Mhm.
You also run into people whose interest in things at the end of the school year typically. It's true. But I was happy with turnout last year. I mean, we turned profit. So.
Yeah, for sure, it was a good one. We did great.
Made some big purchases for the school from them.
Okay, so the next one on the list, we've got Spirit Night, which we have not addressed at all
One
yet
other
this
question
year.
about that.
Yes.
Okay, so since they're gonna start meeting in December, and I know they are gonna ask me for sponsors, is there a way that we could get a list of which sponsors? Yeah, I think it'd be probably not great to overlap the asks for both golf. I mean, some people maybe it'd be fine, but like,
Yeah.
I don't want them to feel like,
Can I piggyback off
Yeah.
of what you're saying and what I'm hearing? So I was talking with a couple of people last night after our golf committee meeting, and they were kind of surprised, I guess, that we were going to be doing it on that date, just because they thought, I think they think that we're going to have difficulty finding people to volunteer, that teachers are going to want to be done. So again, I'm just bringing some feedback that
Quite
I think
honestly.
that parents will be already done as well. To your point earlier.
Sure. Yeah, no, I thought about that too. I think, I was actually more concerned about the proximity to June and lake season and everything. But I do know that I think there's enough interest. I never really depended on a lot of our staff members, just that. Not on our golfers. Like, even if I told them they can play for free, then I'm probably going to play. No, thank you. I saw just a snippet of that with our leadership team this summer at Chestnut. We had our leadership retreat and only 3 played. I was like, guys, did you play golf afterwards? And only 3 played. And it was the Parkers. I'm not surprisingly, they're the golf coaches. So I just think I was never really depending on that. So that doesn't really sway me from that day. And in fact, I think the hope would be to encourage them to go play. Like, because otherwise they're here for a contractual day.
Yeah.
Like, hey, or you can go play in the golf outing and start the game.
Yeah, just feedback that I heard.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
it's
mean, we
good.
can open it up and whatever.
I appreciate you sharing those. It was definitely something I thought about. And maybe we, live and learn. But, yeah, from a volunteer standpoint, I don't think we were really dependent on teachers and volunteers.
No, I meant like
Just
Put it in the flag.
parent
like
volunteers.
PTC
Sure.
or parent volunteers.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
What would be their suggestion to do it
They
earlier?
suggested, two things, maybe having an earlier or a fall date, and they said maybe polling people, just like getting a feel for, what would be the best time of year to have a good response.
Okay. All right.
So Spirit Night, we have not done one yet this year, and we're just going to hopefully do our first one in January. And for Power Up, they've been in contact with Lindsay and I a couple times, and they're really wanting to work together on it. And it's a new business, newer to the area, and I think a lot of people find it really interesting. It looks like it's perfect for this age group. You go in and they've got like a mini golf or bowling, and they've got a lot of like jungle type courses, things, and then they have like one, the rope one on that goes around the top. But I think they've got that at Crazy Pins maybe now. What else? Arcades. So they have a little bit of everything for everyone. We've got 4 potential dates, so I'll try to narrow it down and get back with you guys on exactly when that will be. And we'll try to promote that maybe before break starts. So just so that they can kind of have a date in mind, because we come back there in the second week of January. So any opposition to that, or do you guys think that sounds good? Power Up?
That's right.
Okay. All right. Teacher grants. Rachel, do you want to go ahead and fill us in on what you've been doing with that?
Well, we have 0 responses so far.
Really?
And it's been almost 2 weeks since we sent it. Since Ashley sent it. I texted you the flyer that went out to teachers. And Meg was my second set of eyes, and then Lindsay threw that flyer together real quick for us and the QR code on there. I just think it's, a busy time, but I put, I think December 2nd, is that December 2nd on there, I think? So, haven't gotten any questions or anything yet.
Okay.
Just kind of checking the email, but. I was wondering about that. I wasn't sure if, like, the procedures here, like, did stuff like that go out to teachers, like hard copies? Or
Will we respond to Slack or
you're
stuff?
you're fine.
That's for the teacher appreciation.
I'm not sure how Ashley's teacher.
When we put something out in parents.
Do you think we should
So
put it
does
up
that-
and put one in the mailboxes?
Like, I'm just not sure exactly how, I just asked Ashley to send it to the teachers. I didn't confirm how she did that. I just like email.
Yeah, I can encourage them to apply. What's the deadline again?
I put December 2nd on it just because we wanted to
That's my staff meeting too.
be done with the regular. So,
I will send it. And again today.
Parent Square, we already have, right? But just try to advertise it, share that with your friends, because Salsa Girl always does really well for us. So this will be a good one to bring in some money for PTC.
Online tomorrow, or the council.
I would call only because I tried.
I don't know if I will do it tomorrow, or on the 20th, but it's up on the 22nd, like I said, if it would work.
Yeah, I think you'd have to let them know, like she's saying, because I know when you order, there's not like a code or anything like that, so. I say this is